Saturday, 5th of July, 2025 at 5:34 p.m. here in Snohomish, Washington, United States of America. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It is your Devin Design Astrology podcast showing how two astrology sunshine boys made the world's best astrology software. I am tank topped the designer Jake. He is the engineer Trey. And engineer Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake. The designer Jake.
The designer Jake and engineer Trey. You went rock hunting today.
I did. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I
think it's called rock hounding.
Rock hounding. And I was baking a lot of things. We have a cherry tree here that has gone crazy, and so now it's all about getting the cherry goodness out of the tree form and into a baked good form.
Yeah, and it looks really good. We haven't even tried it yet. And there's
I have this cherry cake. It was created by AI, so we can only imagine that it is amazing.
And there's a cherry pitter, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Yeah, we have a cherry pitter. You know, we got all kinds of things. This is episode 94. It's called Moments Away. I believe this is the second episode ever that I've ever worn a tank top. And I think the last episode is episode 1. So
really?
Yeah, isn't it crazy? So it was episode 1 and I was working out and feeling good. And then I went on a long slump and now I'm back to working out, feeling good again, which is why I'm wearing my tank top. It has nothing to do with the agenda you're seeing to the right-hand side of your screen. We're going to do my check-in. We will show some stuff around charts and angles, how perspectives look like at the moment, talk a little bit about what we're excited about. But before we get to all of that, of course, we always start with the check-in question. Mr. Jake. Oh, that's me. Take it away. You went rock hunting today, and I presume that this brings you joy in your life. What is another thing that you reflect on in your life that is either small or big that brings you joy?
Oh, yeah. Like just another joyous thing. I think the thing that comes most directly to mind actually is the thing that you did today, which is cooking. Cooking is just, there's multiple levels of joy that come from cooking, because there's the joy of either going from a recipe or creating something yourself, and then like figuring out how to execute on that well. And then there's the sharing it with the people that you love, or maybe consuming it yourself. And either way, you hopefully are a person that you love. And so so it's a layer cake of joy, I think. A layer cake of joy. If the screen went funny while Trey was talking, it's because I was messing with OBS and I may have screwed something up. So sorry about that. But you know what? You're not watching the screen anyways. I love baking. I do it for other people because very rarely can I eat baked treats now, which is, I always wondered about this, where like super fit people were bakers, and I'm like, how do they do that? And what they do is they just get vicarious enjoyment from small acts of baked treats towards other people, which goes to my answer. And it's not about baking, but just doing small acts of kindness. It's one of my favorite things that I can do. And something that I demonstrated this weekend, actually on July 4th, supermarkets were going crazy. There was a gentleman in front of me. He unloaded half of his cart and then said, I have to go get hot dog buns. And so he's like, runs. And I was like, oh, watch your stuff. And I noticed that he had unloaded half of his cart. And so I decided, because I was standing in line and all of that, I was just like, I'm going to unload the other half of his cart. To this end, like this very simple act of kindness made me feel good. He came back. He was amazed by it. The people behind me thought that I was like the second coming of Jesus Christ, because they had never seen an act so selfless as somebody unloading someone else's cart. And I was like, it's okay. It's literally just unloading some things. But one of the things that I said to them, because it was July 4th, is I can't think of a better act of patriotism than showing kindness towards others in society. And that's really where my joy stems from, I think, in life. That's it. Yeah. I love it.
Usually I have a joke to throw in here. I don't have a joke today. I'm just reflective. So calm down about all of that. Yeah. But good check-in, everybody.
Yeah. Good check-in.
Enjoy. And also the question I have for you, dear listener, let me go back to my screen for a second. If you are an American and you live in America, we have a tradition in this household where we talk about what are the acts of patriotism that we are going to do moving forward as Americans, and like, what are our acts of patriotism? And I will give you a clue that if your act of patriotism has to do with flying a symbol or wearing a symbol or showing a symbol, that's not an act of patriotism. It has to be a thing that you do that is good for the country. So my question to you, if you want a second check-in question, dear viewer, is what is the act of patriotism that you are going to show and display as an achievement that is visible towards other people after this Independence Day? All right, enough of my pontificating. I'm in a special mood. We did the episode in the afternoon. That's why. That's all I'm going to say about that. Mr. Henry, do you want to talk a little bit about what this cycle was all about? And maybe then we can just take a look at your screen.
Yeah. So we making more progress on the chart. And I'll demo a little thing that we got in thanks to our intern. Which is why I'm now an engineer instead of the engineer.
Yay, Gavin! Here, let's give Gavin a couple snaps. Yay.
Yeah, woo!
Good job, Gavin.
So we'll show a quick Gavin thing, and then so it'll be a pretty small demo this time.
So I think Gavin is going to show up in the next episode, and I'm going to make it as part of his internship.
Yeah. I also have to do his sort of mid internship review.
His
with
mid intern review. So
yeah.
We'll just be like, got to be on the podcast, or at least you got to put something in there. Anyways,
yeah.
Let's show off a little bit of the chart.
Yeah, here we are looking at a traditional perspective, which obviously there will be more stuff down the road, but this is showing the traditional 7 and whole sign houses. But you can see that we now have those hard, difficult labels.
Yeah, they're on
these angles.
They're on a curve. That's what makes them so difficult.
There's so many things that make these difficult, because you'll also notice that they not only are they on a curve, but they are also laid out according to the position on the chart that they're in. So the ascendant and the IC are sort of to the right, and then or I guess clockwise of the symbol, and then these ones are counterclockwise of the symbol. There's a lot to making all of that work, and I found some bugs in the way that we were doing it before when I translated this over.
We had bugs?
I know, can you believe it? That's now in, but and this is kind of like, this will go together with this nicely. So I think we showed this before with the little disclosure on the moment card. This will also eventually show some other things as well, which I'm very excited to demo at some point. The intern was actually working on part of that, which will hopefully be the demo next week. But if I click on the perspective, I can switch the perspective now. And so I can say, oh, I want to use modern. And now we're showing Placidus houses, and we're showing the outer planets.
Mr. Record,
yeah,
you watch every episode. You comment on every episode. Let us know. You are the audience of one. We have your full attention. So let us know. This is not a full
this is not a full list.
But like, here it is. Pluto is now the ruler of Aquarius over there. I mean, you can't see that because if you click on the details, it doesn't say that. But imagine that's what had happened. But you're not showing the modern rulership here.
No.
Yeah,
not yet. Yeah. That's a good point.
You can tell we're traditional boys. That's the problem.
Yeah. We start with traditional first, but we will get it all in there. It'll just take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And actually, this will probably be a lot more pared down in modern as well.
By the way, here, let me go to 2 up for a second, because I got a question for you all. Modern astrologers, let's talk about detriment for a second. Do you use detriment? Is this part of your practice? Do you care about detriment? Let us know in the comments, because I ran into this question because I was putting the planets that are in detriment, that are different from a traditional astrological tradition versus a modern astrological tradition. I just wanted to know. Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good question. I think you can extend that question too to like all of the more traditional things that are done with
fall and all of that.
Yeah. Like with like how much do you care about essential dignity in modern?
Yeah,
I think is the question.
That's the big question. But certainly, detriment is top of mind for me right now. Yeah. All right, back to your demo. Sorry about that.
No, that's it. Like that's basically the demo for this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think next week we'll, like I said, I think we'll have a little bit more cool stuff to show. I'm excited about what the
Yes.
intern's been accomplishing.
Indeed, me too. And I have been spending some time on something I know that we haven't released our first milestone of software yet. It is not beyond me to know that as a fact. However, I'm working on the next milestone of software from a design perspective, and I am so excited to show something that is very exciting for traditional Hellenistic astrology practitioners. And it won't be fully designed. You have to remember, like, we do this OUX thing, so there will be some sketches of some moments in time, but I think it's going to be banging, and you're going to love it.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it because there's a few pieces of software that do it, which everybody goes to for doing this technique.
I'll give you a clue. The first piece of software that did this was Delphic Oracle. Oh, what? All right.
But nobody does it well. Nobody does the actual things that you need to do in order to accomplish the technique.
The why behind it. Why would you go and do this technique? And what do you want to get? And what are the most salient and pertinent things in this technique that you want to see? Nobody does this.
Yeah. Basically, what you get out of most software that's out there is a
big list,
an ephemeris, basically.
You get a list of dates.
Yeah, you get a list of dates, and that is only the very, very beginning of what you actually need.
Ooh, and that iceberg, that little tip of the iceberg, wait until you see how much of the iceberg we're going to go. I'm so excited about it. I want to write a newsletter about it, but what am I going to write in a newsletter? If you're not part of our newsletter, let us know. Get on that newsletter. Go to cosmic.plumbing, sign up with your email address there. And additionally, if you want to be part of research, you can click that little yes button. Again, a research conversation is really just a conversation with me and Trey. And hey, if you're watching this video, you must like us enough to be okay with our voices. So how about we have a personal conversation with you? Go to cosmic.plumbing, sign up, and be part of the research. And until then, Mr. Henry, what should the good viewer do other than sign up for the newsletter?
Go dig up some rocks.
Go dig up some rocks. You know what?
Yeah.
Lapis lazuli or whatever is out there for you.
It might be in your backyard.
Might be in your backyard. Turquoise, you know?
Yeah. Might be in the local park.
Whatever, you know, just go to the driveway. There's rocks on there. You can dig those up. Be well, take care. Have fun on that driveway. We're going to see you again next week. Have yourself a lovely weekend or whatever day you watch this video. We love you very much. We'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.